Hey, welcome back to Always Learning. What are we doing today? Well, today it is getting cold outside. The temperature is going to drop in the next week down to in the low teens, actually the low single digits as well during the night. And so I'm going to protect my bees. Now, I'm seeing a lot of things on wrapping. The way me and my bee partner, the way we wrapped them last year is we just took some of this Pink Panther 8x4 sheet and two inch wide. It's got like an R factor of 12, and it really helped both our hives survive. This year we've got 6 hives, but we put these on the sides. So we just measure the dimensions of our hive, and then we put these on each side, and then of course complete this. And then last year we just used duct tape on the side to hold them, and then once we got them on the hive, we took and cut the same length roofing paper, black roofing paper, wrapped it around it, and stapled it into the actual foam and screwed in through those into the wood to kind of secure the whole thing. So you'd have 2 sides of this going around your hive. What I'm going to do this year, I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to try to make them, because then you got to take them off, you got to put them back on. It's probably not that big a deal, but so the concept we came up with, we measured our hives. I got my measurements here. Most of them are 20 inches long by 14 wide by 8 inches tall. And so I'm going to use this. Leave a link in the description below. It just heats up, and you can actually I'll show you, you can just cut the foam however you want it. My sister got that for some stuff at church. And then we're going to take Gorilla Glue. Then we're going to take a drill, and we're actually going to just drill through in here, like so, top, and then drill in the bottom, and then cut these dowel rods, and I'll put the dowel rod and some glue in there so that it will be once it solidifies up, it'll be a solid box. So then next year, we can just hang these, hang them up on the wall, and then simply take them out of the shed and slide them on, so we don't have to make them every year, or really kind of attach them every year. They just slide on and off. That's what we're going for. So I need 2 that are 8 by 20, and then I need 2 more inches on each side for the side pieces to go up against, so that the inner side of the box is 20 inches. And as you can see on this foam, here's the middle, so I know that's 24. So I just took a T-square and measured up 8 inches, came across, measured 8 inches, 8.5 inches, came across, and then I'll cut these out with the little glue cutter. Once I had them marked out on the insulation, I took the tool that my sister had, which is just a little heat cutter, and I started to cut the sheets. As you'll see, you just kind of do this sawing motion, and I've got it on the highest setting, and it cut it, but I really wasn't that, impressed and maybe I wasn't doing it right, but it didn't seem to cut it as well as just using the table saw did, and it took a lot longer. I cut 4 pieces, and then I ended up ripping them again in the table saw just to get a finer edge on them. So anyway, I would probably recommend just using the table saw going forward if you have one. If not, this thing's not very expensive, and if you're not doing a lot of hives, you could probably go a little slower and probably be a little more maybe precise with it. Here we go. So this box is for a small one. It's going to be 20 long by 14 across. It's for an 8-frame hive. And then I'll just, these are all 24s. So they got the 20 length because it's standard box. And then I'll cut these 14, and then maybe just a little bit bigger, just to give it a little bit of room so they can go down. There's a little bit of flex to them. But anyway, once I get those, cut those off, and those will be ran there, and there, and there, and there, glued and ready to make the box. And that's what we'll do next. I just took a drill bit, the size, same size as a dowel rod, drilled it at the top and the bottom, and then did it on both sides, did one side, got it secured, and then came back and did the other side, making sure that I had the right amount of space with the T-square so that it wouldn't be too short on one side or something, so it wouldn't slide over the box. You want to get as tight as possible with just a little bit of flex. And then I took the Gorilla Glue, put it in each hole, striped it down on the sides, flipped that over, did it again, and then simply, once I got kind of a little bit of glue in each hole on the sides and in the centerpiece, then I just tapped in or pushed in the dowel rods to make sure they'll hold. Just a little more secure system is what I kind of felt like it would do, just to kind of help hold that shape longer. All right, I put one on already so you can kind of see what it is. Now I'm just going to simply go through the process just to show you how fast, once you have them made, it is to get one on the box. You're simply just going to take the lid off, we've got a motorcycle strap on there because it gets pretty windy off the lake and it'll move the boxes. So we've kind of got a ratchet system to kind of keep them strapped down. But I'm simply just going to take the top off, slide it on, put the top back on, and should be good to go. Occasionally when you take the top off, they'll come flying out, so they're a little aggravated. It's just barely over 45 degrees, which is flying weather, but still they don't like it, so it's just better to be safe than sorry. It seems like over the years I've become a little more allergic to bee stings, so I'm just taking a precautionary measure. But there you go. Simple process, and then I'll wrap it with the roofing paper. Now you can, I'm just cutting the roofing paper here. You can cut it with scissors, you can cut it with a mat knife. I'm cutting it in 8 to 10 strips. It doesn't have to be exact. We're not here for a fashion show, but if people are going to see your hives and your apiary, then maybe you want to do it in the garage and get it cut a little more precise, and then you just wrap it around. You can see on the insulation, I went ahead and wrapped around some of it because when I pushed them over, I felt like the glue wasn't being held, and so I just literally used the it's kind of the sticky roofing tape that you use to put on the sheathing before you put the tar paper on. So I just wrapped that around a couple of the hives, and now I'm just taking a stapler with some pretty deep staples and just stapling on the tar paper, and you just want to make sure you get it. Once you start it, just start on one end and wrap it tight around it. And then if you have it a little too high, you can always just come back with the mat knife and cut it to make it look a little nicer, or just make it so you can have a little better access. One big thing to keep in mind is to make sure that your tar paper doesn't cover up the entrance so the girls can still get in and out without too much of a hindrance. Well, there's the hives, all 6 of them, all wrapped up and ready to go. Last year we had probably a 10-day stretch where it was 3 degrees outside, and our 2 hives made it, so we tried it again this year, and hopefully all 6 will make it through the winter as well. Thanks for watching.